My name is Grace Davatilla, and I'm going to be presenting on the effects of parasocial relations. This is a video on parasocial relationships that is a good introduction into my topic. Relationships are complicated. Regardless of the nature of the relationship or the people involved, the intricacies of each person's feelings and how they mesh inevitably lead to complications that will affect each individual in a multitude of ways. In this 21st century world, with a constant look at and into every person's life being readily available, a new type of relationship has formed, parasocial. With Generation Z living more online than any other generation before them, the lines between real and virtual have begun to blur. New issues have arisen with this new type of relationship that people need to consider as they enter the online world. Parasocial relationships are damaging because of obsessive idolization behaviors, codependency issues, and inhibition of social skills. FindAPsychologist.org defines parasocial relationships as one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely aware of the other's existence. The most common examples of this type of relationship is the dedicated fans of music artists, actors, or YouTubers. Despite being a new concept, parasocial relationships have already evolved just as the internet and any new idea does. They usually occurred with television personas, but now with the invention of social media apps, they have evolved. Obsessive behavior such as online and in-person stalking and harassment habits that have formed the effects of these relationships can not only be damaging on the ones forming them, but also those around them and the person they form them with. Celebrities have experienced harrowing incidents with superfans involving stalking, creepy letters, and blackmail. Celebrity worship syndrome is a type of parasocial relationship where admiring a celebrity turns into obsession and idolization. Although not all parasocial relationships are negative, this type can lead to obsessive, compulsive, and addictive behaviors. Codependency is a frequent problem that people struggle with in all kinds of relationships. It's defined as an emotional and behavioral condition that affects an individual's ability to have a healthy and mutually satisfying relationship. An experiment done with Effectivist software observed people's reactions to videos through a camera embedded in their computers. Volunteers were observed and seen how their moods were affected by watching their favorite YouTuber. It is unhealthy to allow one's mood to be influenced by a virtual person who knows nothing of your existence and therefore does not care about your happiness or general well-being. A person's social skills are determined by their interactions they have at an incredibly young age. When virtual interaction is used as a substitute for physical, it can hinder the critical social skills they're developing. Young children born in the late 2000s have grown up in a different way than any child has before. From their young age, they have phones, computers, iPads, and television shoved in their face. They can form unhealthy attachments with characters, and this can be used as a substitute for face-to-face interaction. They can also model dangerous behavior of their favorite characters, such as superheroes. Parasocial relationships and interactions have a lot of negative consequences, but just like most things, there are exceptions. When people see these exceptions, they decide that this relationship is good because it can make people feel less alone, but this is just a temporary solution. People need real relationships, and it's the only long-lasting way to feel connected. The reason that it is important to talk about the negative effects of parasocial interactions is so awareness can be spread regarding the impact they have on individuals who partake in them. Forming these type of attachments without understanding the effects is surefire way to experience the negative effects. Being aware of the humanity and imperfections of celebrities is a good way to remove the worshiping behavior of parasocial relationships. If you understand how parasocial relationships affect you, you can do your best to avoid issues that can evolve. Because of problems like obsessive behaviors, codependency issues, and inhibition of social skills, parasocial relationships are damaging to people who partake in them. Nothing can replace the feeling of talking face-to-face with someone who one shares genuine interests with. Parasocial relationships are a relatively new concept, and being aware of the negative effects they often have is essential, especially in the increasingly online world. This is my works cited.